Work hard with your hands, doing something that's good, so that your life will win the respect.
Phil Robertson stood as a beacon of unwavering conviction. Known widely as the patriarch of the Duck Dynasty empire, Robertson was more than just a reality TV star with a thick beard and southern drawl. He was a man deeply rooted in his faith, guided by purpose, and driven by a belief that authenticity was the most valuable currency one could offer the world. From the quiet bayous of Louisiana to the national stage, Robertson built a legacy that reflected his grit, transformation, and steadfast values. His story is one of redemption, family loyalty, and the power of staying true to one's beliefs, even when they go against the grain. Born on April 24, 1946, in Vivian, Louisiana, Phil Alexander Robertson was the fifth of 7 children in a working-class family that prized faith and hard work. Raised in a humble home without modern plumbing or electricity, Phil learned the value of simplicity early on. His father, James, was a hard-working farmer, and his mother, Merritt, nurtured a close-knit household steeped in Christian values. Despite their modest means, the Robertsons were resourceful. Hunting and fishing were not just pastimes, they were survival skills. Phil grew up immersed in the Louisiana wilderness, developing a lifelong love for the outdoors. Though a talented athlete, his early life was marked by inner turmoil. After earning a football scholarship to Louisiana Tech University and playing quarterback ahead of future Hall of Famer Terry Bradshaw, Robertson shocked many by walking away from the sport. His passion for hunting and discomfort with the structure of professional athletics led him down a different, far more unpredictable path. Phil's young adult years were a period of personal struggle. Despite marrying his high school sweetheart, Marcia K. Carraway, in 1966, Robertson found himself battling alcoholism, infidelity, and anger. His behavior fractured his young family and nearly destroyed his marriage. Yet, it was in the midst of that darkness that a transformation began, one rooted in faith. In the mid-1970s, Robertson experienced a profound spiritual awakening. He gave his life to Christ, reconciling with his wife and recommitting to his role as a father to their 4 sons, Alan, Jace, Willie, and Jep. This decision became the defining turning point of his life. The wild-living, bar-owning outdoorsman was reborn as a devout Christian who traded alcohol for scripture and ego for humility. In 1973, he invented the first Duck Commander duck call, launching what would eventually become a multi-million-dollar enterprise. Starting in a small shack in West Monroe, Louisiana, Robertson's duck calls were not only effective but symbolic of his philosophy: live off the land, honor your word, and keep things simple. His authentic voice and rugged charm began to resonate beyond the swamps. What began as a family-run business blossomed into a cultural phenomenon. With son Willie Robertson taking the reins as CEO, Duck Commander expanded into a full-fledged brand. But it was the debut of A&E's Duck Dynasty in 2012 that catapulted the Robertson family into the national spotlight. The show followed the family's lives, balancing business, duck hunting, and humor with heartfelt moments around the dinner table, always ending in prayer. Phil's straightforward, old-school demeanor was a major draw for viewers. With his ZZ Top-style beard, camouflage wardrobe, and no-nonsense delivery, he became a symbol of traditional American values. At the height of the show's popularity, it averaged over 11 million viewers per episode, breaking cable TV records. But Robertson was never interested in fame for its own sake. He used his platform to preach the gospel and promote conservative ideals, often sparking national conversations, sometimes controversial, always unapologetic. While his outspoken views drew both fierce criticism and passionate support, Robertson remained unwavering in his beliefs. After Duck Dynasty ended in 2017, Robertson continued to make his voice heard. He launched In the Woods with Phil, an unfiltered digital series, and hosted Unashamed with Phil and Jace Robertson, a popular podcast where he discussed faith, politics, and culture alongside his sons. He also authored several best-selling books, including Happy, and the Theft of America's Soul, blending autobiography with biblical teachings. Despite his polarizing reputation in mainstream media, Phil's reach only grew stronger among those who valued his message of biblical truth, personal responsibility, and traditional family structures. He mentored countless men, spoke at churches across the country, and donated to ministries helping the homeless, addicted, and imprisoned, reflecting the redemption he experienced himself. Robertson's family remained at the center of his life. His marriage to Miss Kay lasted over 5 decades, a testament to forgiveness, restoration, and enduring love. Their children and grandchildren often credited Phil with modeling what it meant to live with conviction. Even in disagreements, his commitment to family unity and faith never wavered. In a stunning 2020 revelation, Robertson learned he had fathered a daughter, Phyllis, during his rebellious youth. Rather than recoil from the news, he welcomed her into the family with open arms. The story of their reconciliation became another chapter in his public testimony, showing that grace, when accepted, heals even the deepest wounds. Phil Robertson passed away peacefully on May 9, 2025, at the age of 79, following complications from a stroke. He had suffered a minor stroke weeks earlier and had been under medical care at his home in West Monroe, surrounded by loved ones. True to form, his final days were spent in prayer, reflection, and storytelling with his family by his side. His passing prompted tributes from across the spectrum. Conservative leaders, faith-based organizations, hunting enthusiasts, and even former critics acknowledged his deep impact. Louisiana Governor Jeff Landry called him a symbol of faith, family, and freedom who never wavered. Memorial services were held at White's Ferry Road Church of Christ, where Phil had worshiped for decades and were attended by thousands. Phil Robertson's life was one of extraordinary contrasts: recklessness and redemption, obscurity and fame, simplicity and influence. He wasn't a polished celebrity, nor did he seek approval. He was a hunter, preacher, husband, father, and unapologetic Christian who believed that true wealth was measured in faith, family, and integrity. Through his duck calls, sermons, books, and family legacy, he reached millions, not because he chased relevance, but because he stayed rooted in something deeper. His legacy will live on in the lives he touched, the gospel he preached, and the sons and grandsons who carry his message forward. In a 2024 podcast episode reflecting on his mortality, Phil said, "I'm not afraid to die. I've already done it once when I gave my life to Christ. This life is a blink. Eternity is forever. I'm just passing through." And with those words, he captured the essence of who he was, a man who traded worldly applause for eternal assurance. Thank you for walking through the life of Phil Robertson, a man of the wilderness, a voice for truth, and a soul anchored in redemption. May his journey remind us that no one is beyond grace, that conviction can coexist with compassion, and that the greatest legacy we leave is not in what we build, but in who we become. So whether you're chasing ducks or dreams, remember Phil's simple creed: faith first, family always, freedom forever.